Late Night Cigarette by Tarpup. Last night, like most nights, I was having trouble sleeping. Usually, I mindlessly watch Netflix to let the sleepless hours bleed together and pass quicker, melting my brain to the point of forcing it to rest. I had just cracked open a can of cheap beer and began sipping it reluctantly. Another big part to the remedy for my anxiety is usually sucking cancer out of the end of a slow-burning cigarette. I smoke American Spirits, so as some of you out there know, it takes a good 13 minutes if you aren't in a hurry. Typically, I have my cigarettes with me, and typically I step out back to enjoy them. After about 5 minutes or so looking for my cigarettes in my room, like a schizoid looking for bugs planted by the CIA, I realized that they were probably out front in my car. So I grabbed my keys, my lighter, and my beer and casually headed out my front door to my car. Now up to this point, I've described a pretty standard night for most people with anxiety issues. Nothing really weird or strange, and in my opinion, kind of a relaxing night to be honest. Anyway, I get to my car and I pop open the passenger door, and to no surprise, there they are. I didn't take another moment to think. I fished out a cigarette on the spot and lit her up. Immediately, the weight of my anxiousness freed itself from my psyche. But halfway through my cigarette, I got bored. I had left my phone inside and really didn't have anything to keep myself busy with during my 13-minute cigarette. So I put my lit cigarette and brew on the little ledge by my front door, and I ran inside to grab my phone. I don't know why, but I threw the lock on before popping inside. In hindsight, the thought of what could have happened if I didn't scares me down to the marrow in my bones. I unlocked the door and opened it, and my cigarette and beer were no longer on the ledge, but were placed on the ground about 6 feet from the door. My heart literally sank into my stomach so fast, I honestly felt like it was about to fly out my ass. The half a second it took for the fear to register itself in my brain, all of the signs pointed to danger. I can be a little paranoid sometimes, actually, a lot of times. But I learned to trust my gut, even if I feel insane. I slammed my door shut, and I twisted the lock. The second the lock clicks, I hear heavy running and feel the handle twist in my hand, and the door shudders back and forth violently. My heart actually made its way through my asshole this time. With nearly zero hesitation, I shoved my cheek to the door and eye to the peephole. I had to see. What I saw was a dark black figure, frantically pacing back and forth and loudly muttering. It was in a fit of panic and rage, and I realized what had happened. I realized that it had been watching me the whole time. When that realization hit me, I grabbed my father's Remington, trying to be loud enough for him to hear through the door. I gave it a good rack, after I quickly poked my eye through the peephole, and then he was gone. I now know he probably tried the door first when I went inside for my phone, and it was locked, strike one. He then moved my stuff to try to trick me to venture even further outside so that he could ambush me, but that failed, strike two. Then his last, desperate attempt to try to gain entry after he spooked me was to try to force his way in. That failed again, strike three. He had a solid plan and did a good job of executing it. I guess I used up all of my luck in one evening. I haven't slept at all. My eyes and head feel like they're going to explode. I just stepped outside to check everything out now that the sun has risen. My beer had been emptied, and sticking out of the top of it was a rolled up piece of paper. All it said was, "I'll get in. Be careful, everyone."